Today, I thought I'd react to one of Jubilee's videos about cheaters, how they think, and if they're all the same. I think I've seen the video before, but it was way back, before I even had a YouTube channel, so now I'd like to share my thoughts on the matter. So let's get into it.
When I cheated, I enjoyed it. 3, 2, 1, go.
Right off the bat, this tells you a lot about what goes through someone's mind when they're cheating on their partner, regardless of their reason for doing so. But this is why I always say that a cheater's tears aren't worth anything, because while they were getting their freak on with someone else, they couldn't give less of a damn about their partner.
I cheated in another country, so at that time, I was like, oh, nobody's gonna know about this. I don't say anything, it's all about me right now. So at that time, I enjoyed it. But yeah, as soon as I got back, I just felt so guilty. Man, you high and then it went like low.
If there's one thing that's pretty consistent among people who cheat, it's that everything is about them. It's almost as if their partner doesn't exist when they choose to betray their trust. I mean, I've heard all sorts of excuses from people, but one of the funniest was a girl who said that if the man she's cheating with wears a condom, it's not really cheating because they're not really touching, and if anything, it's just like a long hug.
Yeah, I enjoyed it in the process because one, my boyfriend at the time was 2,000 miles away, and here's my best friend's cousin who is right here and open and willing, and I was like, fuck it, let's go.
While I think long-distance relationships are exceptionally hard and require a lot of effort, and make it more likely that people will cheat, how she cheated on her partner seems like something she would have done regardless of the distance between her and her man. I feel like she just used it as an excuse.
Once a cheater, always a cheater. 3, 2, 1, go.
I would say I strongly disagree with this saying, simply because people change, people grow up, people learn things. Just because I did this one bad thing when I was like, let's say 15, doesn't mean that it should haunt me for the rest of my adulthood.
Once a cheater, always a cheater? Okay, no, not really. I've been in several long-term relationships where I've cheated from the very beginning into the very end of the relationship. You guys are saying I cheated one time when I was 15 or some shit like that. I'm like, oh, you guys are awesome. I was on some straight fuckboy shit. I was straight up. So what I was doing wasn't truly who I was. It was a defense mechanism. I have these strong emotions towards my partner. I really wish that they would listen to me. They're not, and so I'm just going to go and do something that makes me feel better. So I don't think that once a cheater, always a cheater, but I do, on the other hand, always tell every partner that I've been with about my habits and what I've done in the past. I share it openly because I think it's something that should be shared more often, because we're not the only people that cheat. People watching this stuff are also cheaters.
So yeah, I wouldn't say that once a cheater, always a cheater, but someone who's cheated in the past has shown that they're willing to do so, despite how hurtful it may be to their partner. That said, if you're 45 years old and you cheated on a boyfriend or girlfriend back in your early 20s, sure, it's likely that you've grown and changed since then. But I'd like to know why someone cheated, how long it went on for, and if they ever came clean about it. In many of the Reddit stories I cover, a lot of people seem to cheat simply because they're bored of their marriage or relationship and just fancy something new. If I was with someone and that was their reason for cheating, there's no reason for me to expect they wouldn't do the same to me once our relationship matured and is no longer the exciting roller coaster it once was.
I would be willing to forgive someone if they cheated on me. 3, 2, 1, go.
Just because of the simple fact that I told my boyfriend at the time that I cheated on him, and then he forgave me. But then these things start happening where he's like, oh, but what's up? Where are you going? I'm like, oh, I'm going to a party. He's like, oh, boys are going to be there, huh? I'm just like, why would you do that? It just makes me want to like just go back to what I was doing.
You
Let me
have,
just hop. Like I can't.
no faith or trust in
Yeah,
me.
exactly. The
Like,
trust after was gone. Like, oh,
Yeah.
I'm fine. We're fine. Like, no,
Yeah.
we're not, because you're not emotionally, mentally like, oh, I'm like, we're done.
Right.
It wasn't done. So after that, I broke up with him, and I was like, no, I'm not going to be that person who just like, oh, you cheated. Bye. I'm not going to be like that mentally or physically. I'm just going to be like, no, we're going to work this out.
It's not surprising to me that someone who's cheated in the past says they'd forgive someone who cheated on them. But talk is cheap. Once cheating occurs in a relationship, it fundamentally changes everything about what was built. So it's insane to me how people think things could ever go back to how they were once that kind of trust has been broken. While some relationships can survive a cheating event, I'll never agree with the belief that a relationship can be stronger or better than it was before.
3 out of the 4 relationships I was in, I was a cheater, but on that last one, I got cheated on. Cheating all throughout that first year. Second year, same thing through that. I forgave him for all of it. I was still the one begging him to be with me. I tried. I said I forgave him for that, but I didn't really. I still have a lot of hate in my heart for that. But would I let the next person do that? Hell the fucking no. Like, what do you mean I'm gonna get to know you just for you to do all of that stuff? Like, that's why we learn from our past mistakes, which that's kind of me being a hypocrite because I did the same mistake over and over again.
Being the cheater 3 times out of the 4 relationships you've had is wild. I mean, how are things looking for the next guy, as it doesn't seem like this happened all that long ago? We haven't heard from her yet about why she cheated. Maybe she'll get into that later. But I'm curious.
You changed?
Yeah.
Oh.
Only because, before I cheated, I would have actually been all the way back there. And then I came here because I hold grudges. So, I mean, I will be more understanding to a person if they cheated on me because I did it. But it would be really hard for me to let it go because I would always replay it in my head. For me, actually, the person I cheated on, we're still together. We're getting married next month.
I was gonna ask you about that. Congrats.
Yeah, so he forgave me big time,
How did you find
obviously.
out? So you cheated with him overseas?
Yes. At first, I was just like, okay, I'm gonna just break it off, not say anything. But he was so willing to fix whatever was going on, and he was like, I don't know what's going on. What can I do to fix it? And I was like, this is just what's going on. This is what I have in my head. Like, I'm unhappy. I think we should go to counseling and stuff. And so we did, and we're more honest and open with each other, and we were able to work it out.
Damn, I never expected her to still be with the same guy. And seeing as this video is from way back in 2020, I wonder how their marriage is doing. Whether she'd cheat again in future is impossible to know, as we don't know anything about her, aside from what we're being shown right now, not to mention the actual circumstances that led up to her hooking up with someone else.
Cheating is always wrong. 3, 2, 1, go.
It's not always wrong because what if that person that you're in a relationship with is toxic? You're just okay, I have an excuse to cheat on this person. That's why.
Isn't that more of an excuse to break up with the person?
I was thinking the same thing. If things are that bad in your relationship, the best thing to do is just leave. Why waste your time? That said, if she's also including abusive when she used the word toxic, well, that's a different ballgame and makes things a lot more complicated. I'm not nearly qualified enough to say what someone should or shouldn't do under those circumstances, but I imagine that cheating on a partner who's physically abusive is super risky. I mean, what happens if they find out?
I know, but you still have benefits with that person too. You know what I'm saying? You're in this relationship, and then you're you have benefits. So why am I?
That's a hard part, right? It's
Yes.
this is one of the things why I'm afraid of marriage. It's in some ways, it's what if shit goes super south, and I can't just undo this. This is not just a breakup.
I am a firm believer that no matter how toxic somebody is, no matter how horrible somebody can be, I don't think anybody on this planet deserves to be cheated on. I wanted to believe I had good reason, but I didn't, even though he called me a dumb bitch every other sentence. And I was the most ugly and stupid person that he's ever met. And I only exist to send him nudes.
See, this right here, fundamentally changes how I see her, despite the fact that she cheated on her partner. When she initially spoke about her cheating, she made it seem like a, hey, why not have some fun seeing as my boyfriend's not around? But now I can see that what led to her cheating was a bit deeper than I initially thought. Should she have left her boyfriend instead of cheating? Sure, I'd always suggest you go that route. But given her age, and maybe personality type, it probably wasn't an easy move for her to make at that time.
Yeah, you did the right thing by getting out of that relationship. You did the right thing for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, so she did leave in the end. Well, ignore what I just said then.
You can be in love and still cheat. 3, 2, 1, go.
So the reason why I'm strongly disagree is because if you actually love someone, why would you ever want to inflict any sort of pain on them? Since you're supposed to be there, I guess you can say their other half, why would you want to be the bad half of it?
I fully agree. And if I had to add anything, I'd also say it was a lack of respect for the person you're supposed to be building a life with. While cheating on your partner won't bring about the end of the world, you're introducing them to an element of risk that more than likely they didn't sign up for.
It doesn't really make any sense.
Did you love the guys that you cheated on?
No, that's why.
You didn't love them?
I don't love any of them.
Did you tell them that you loved them?
No.
You never said you love. I love.
Well, I never said it to any of them because I didn't love them.
Oh, okay. Well, that's interesting. I mean, I was in love with the people I cheated on. I mean,
Would you call yourself a selfish person?
super selfish. At that time, for sure. Super selfish.
But do you think you could have been selfish in a different way and still not have hurt the person?
Exactly. Yeah, I do. I agree with you. And that's a thing that now at this portion of life, like I try and do. I've not cheated in a long while.
I find it interesting that he said, in a long while, instead of saying, I haven't cheated on my current partner. He is in a relationship, right?
I have forgiven myself. 3, 2, 1, go.
Damn, you guys haven't forgiven yourself. I've forgiven myself. For sure. I mean, it took a lot of like reflecting. I don't think my cheating is not truly who I am. It was the result of not seeing healthy relationships as I was growing up, not seeing how people can work through things in a healthy way.
I feel like I had to forgive myself just because, especially after the relationship that I was in after that I got cheated on, just because now I understand both sides of it. It isn't easy both ways, but I feel like if you really actually want to learn and grow from something, you definitely have to forgive yourself because you can't grow if you don't forgive yourself.
Okay, well, I'm going to end the video there. But if you want to see the last few minutes, you can hop over to Jubilee's channel. The link will be in the description. How cheaters think may be triggering to a lot of people, but personally, I think it's very insightful. I remember when I first joined a subreddit that's for people who are cheating on their partners, and I was shocked by how carefree these cheaters were. Every so often, I get annoyed by a story someone shares, and I can't help but ask them why they just won't leave their partner so everyone can find what they're looking for in life. What do you guys think? Let us know in the comments. I hope you enjoyed today's video on coffee and popcorn, and I can't wait to see you on the next one.